The pool cleaner said the previous family moved out overnight without taking anything. Dennis mentioned it casually while checking our filter system, 3 months after we'd moved into our dream house. The Hartleys just vanished one Tuesday night, he said, skimming leaves from the deep end. Left everything behind. Clothes still in closets, food in the fridge, even their kids' toys scattered in the playroom, like they just evaporated. I felt a chill despite the warm afternoon sun. Our realtor had said the previous owners relocated for work, pricing the house to sell quickly. We'd gotten it for $200,000 below market value, which we'd attributed to their urgency. But abandoning everything suggested something far more disturbing than job relocation. Did they say anything to you before leaving? I asked, trying to sound casual. Dennis shook his head, looking troubled. Last time I saw Mrs. Hartley, she seemed terrified. Kept looking over her shoulder, asking if I'd noticed anyone watching the house. Then boom, next week they're gone and the house is on the market. That evening, I couldn't stop thinking about the Hartleys. My husband Richard dismissed my concerns, thrilled with our incredible deal. But something felt wrong about this house. A sensation I'd attributed to new home adjustment, but now wondered might be something more. I started researching the Hartleys online, finding their social media profiles hadn't been updated since the day they disappeared. The last post from Jennifer Hartley was a photo of her children playing in our now backyard, captioned, "Perfect evening at home." 16 hours later, they'd fled, leaving that perfect home behind. The first real clue came when I was organizing the basement storage room. Behind a false panel, I found a collection of documents the Hartleys had hidden. Photographs of our house taken from various angles, all showing a black sedan parked outside. Notes in Jennifer's handwriting documented dates and times. 3 a.m., car outside again. Man photographing house during school pickup. Same person at grocery store and bank. They'd been under surveillance for months. I took everything to the police, but Detective Santos seemed unsurprised. Third family to flee that house in 5 years, she said quietly. Each one lasted about 18 months before leaving suddenly. We've never found evidence of actual crime, but the pattern is undeniable. She explained that our house had been owned by a drug cartel leader in the 1990s before federal seizure. Though he died in prison, rumors persisted about hidden money somewhere on the property. Every few years, someone would become convinced they could find it, stalking whoever lived there. We increased patrols after the Hartleys left, Santos continued, but whoever watches that house is sophisticated. They know our schedules, blind spots, probably have inside information. Be careful. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every shadow could be surveillance, every passing car a threat. Richard installed security cameras, but I knew the Hartleys had done the same. Whatever had terrified them had overcome all their precautions. The escalation began 3 weeks later. Items in our house were subtly moved while we were at work. Nothing stolen, just relocated enough to let us know someone had been inside. Our new security system never triggered, suggesting professional entry methods. Then came the photographs slipped under our door, pictures of us at work, shopping, even inside our previous apartment before we moved. We were being watched constantly. Richard wanted to call the police, but I remembered the detective's words about never finding evidence. Instead, I hired a private investigator, Murphy, who specialized in surveillance detection. What he found was terrifying. Our house had been bugged with professional-grade equipment, hidden cameras in every room, even tracking devices on our cars. This isn't amateur treasure hunters, Murphy said grimly. This is organized crime or intelligence-level surveillance. He traced the equipment to a shell company connected to Vincent Morales, the imprisoned cartel leader's son. Vincent had spent 20 years convinced his father had hidden $10 million somewhere in our house, becoming obsessed with finding it. Each family who'd lived here had been test subjects, observed to see if they'd discover the cache. When they inevitably found the surveillance and fled, Vincent would wait for new victims. Murphy's investigation revealed Vincent's team had construction plans showing a hidden room that had been sealed during renovation. They couldn't access it without owning the property, but couldn't buy it without revealing their identity. Their solution was to terrorize families until the house became unsellable, hoping to purchase it through shell companies. We made a decision that surprised everyone. We stayed, but first, we invited the FBI to search for the hidden room. They found it within hours, behind what looked like solid foundation. Inside was exactly what Vincent believed: $10 million in cash, vacuum sealed and perfectly preserved. The money was immediately seized as drug proceeds. Vincent's reaction was explosive. His team attempted to break in that very night, not knowing FBI agents were waiting. The raid netted 6 arrests, including Vincent himself, who'd violated parole by orchestrating the surveillance operation. He screamed about his birthright as they dragged him away. 20 years of obsession ending in handcuffs. With the money found and Vincent imprisoned, the surveillance stopped. We renovated the hidden room into a playroom, painting over decades of criminal history with bright colors and children's murals. The Hartleys never returned, too traumatized by their experience to reclaim their belongings. We donated everything to charity, hoping to cleanse the house of its dark past. 5 years later, we still live here. The pool cleaner is Dennis, who jokes that we're the first family to outlast the curse. But sometimes I wonder about the other families who fled in terror, never knowing they were pawns in Vincent's obsessive treasure hunt. Our dream house came at a nightmare price, just not the one we paid at closing.